So last week it was announced Masvidal versus Covington. They're going to be headlining 272 in March. And what was your initial reaction when you heard this announcement?
It's about time, right? Those dudes have had heat forever. I mean, it's about time they fought.
Yeah, seriously. And
Yeah,
what I found
and that
interesting
rivalry
was
is brewing for I don't know. I want to say what 2.5 years. It's been a very long time.
so I noticed Chael Sonnen talking about this fight, and he said that this could be a career-ending fight for Masvidal. Do you
So
agree or
I
disagree?
saw that quote. I did not hear the entirety of what he said. So can you fill me on what else he said so I can comment?
Basically, he was saying it's like a do or die situation for Masvidal. If he loses, it's not a good look. If he wins, where does he go from here? Was basically the gist of the conversation.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting because why put so much weight on a fight? But let me know what your
No.
thoughts are on that.
Well, Chael understands the fight business better than almost anyone. So generally, when he says things, there's a lot of validity to it. And so I would not say maybe it's a career ender, but as far as unfortunately, and people will take offense, but I made him a huge star, right? It was at my expense. I don't want to say he was a nobody before that, but he was kind of like a moderately popular fighter who kind of had maybe a hardcore following, but wasn't known to a broader audience. And then the event with me happened, unfortunately, and he became one of the, let's say, top 5 stars in the sport. And then obviously he parlayed that with to a Nate Diaz fight. Nate Diaz is not the toughest opponent at welterweight. But then once he got past that fight, the Usman fights were pretty non-competitive. And he hasn't really fought anyone else in the upper echelon of that division. So, Colby is another guy in the upper echelon of that division. And, if he loses to him, I think it probably knocks his popularity down, a couple levels. And he's got to go low. Now, can he regain the popularity at some level? Possibly. But it's kind of, not quite on the same level. But think about McGregor, right? When McGregor was competing for UFC titles, there was so much hype around him. And now a McGregor fight is still a big fight, but it's not the same thing that it was, right? I mean, we were thinking when he's getting ready to fight Jose Aldo or Eddie Alvarez, those fights were just so gigantic. And now that he's lost, I don't know what 3 or 4 maybe, or 4 or 5, something like that. It's
He's
like,
due
I'm
for
sure
a win,
people,
yeah.
he's due for a win. People will be excited for the next Conor McGregor fight, but they're not going to be as excited as they were back then. So same type of situation.
Yeah, so I think his stake is kind of on the line right now. But you brought up Nate Diaz, so I got to bring this up too. And about a month ago, you and him were going back and forth on Twitter.